Hello. Hey, Fancy Lou Who. How are you? How's it going? Having a good day so far? It's sexy mama who likes pig dick. Don't you, Ori? You like pig dick, don't you? Hey, Vincy, Nina wants some pig dick. She's probably peeing her pants right now. Hey, Raven, how are you, darling? Thank you again um for doing the live thing for my party. I appreciate that. Just for you, Vincy. Ori, you're not paying attention to me. Hey, Raven, do you know that Nina likes pig dick? You have to ask her about it. I'm talking about your favorite subject and you're ignoring me. Oh, but pig dick's not big. It's long, but it ain't big. Nina, you need to send Raven that video. I bet Raven ain't never seen a pig dick before. Raven, it corkscrews. And it's about that long and it corkscrews. Literally. Send it to Vincy too while you're at it so she'll know what we're talking about. I love you, Nina. Who's your freaky friend? Afraid to ask. No, Nina and I started off talking about chickens and how they fuck. And then I was like, have you ever seen a pig dick? And she's like, nope. So I YouTubed her a pig dick and she about peed her pants. Oh, Izzy. Is Izzy freaky? I like freaky. I like freaky. She will be here tonight, right? I like me some freaky. I do, I do, I do. Oh, thank you. Is it better than the Diet Dr. Pepper look? Oh, I had this in my hair most of the day to keep it pulled back out of my eyes while I worked, and I look like the Diet Dr. Pepper dude. Hello, you know. What time zone is Izzy in? I don't even know. I just see her stuff all over the place. Yeah, Izzy's written a lot of stuff. I don't know if I've ever read any of her stuff though. Ooh. So, speaking of pop rocks, uh, one day my boss came out of his office over to my desk and he's like, "Do you like pop rocks?" I'm like, "I love pop rocks." And he's like, "Karen got me these Oreos with the 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 cream in the middle's got pop rocks in it." I said, "Oh," I said, "but I don't like the chocolate." He's like, "That's okay." He says, "If you'll eat the cream, I'll eat the chocolate part." I said, "Okay." So I sat there and I took all the cream out with my tongue, of course, my tongue and teeth, eat all the cream out of it, let it pop in my mouth, and then he eat all the thing filled weekend and purloined. Oh. So yeah, I was like, ooh, purloin sounds like something I would read for sure. Hi, Miss Izzy. How are you, darling? Welcome to the crazy house. We're just talking about pig dicks and pop rocks. Giving blowjobs. I've never done that, but yeah. All righty. Y'all about ready to get started here? This is looking pretty good. All righty. I have to look them up. I love shifter books. Okay. Seduction Cove by Miss Izzy. And I don't know if you guys can see it or not. That's what the. So I'm do it this way, it might be better. Well, that's about as good as I'm gonna get it. It's hard to get on there, so okay. So, Seduction Cove by Miss Lizzie Sins. Ziz. Alrighty. Lexi Kincaid stared at her car in the car repair shop, silently cursing it. "Why did you do this to me?" she asked the car as if expecting it to answer back. "We should have her fixed up by tomorrow," promised the mechanic in the greasy clothes. "I'll make sure that there's nothing else wrong with it before releasing it." How much is it going to cost? Mentally calculating her dwindling funds. "Don't worry," said the mechanic. "We can work out a payment arrangement." "My credit isn't that great," she told him. That was putting it mildly. Her ex made sure that she didn't have to pay for anything while living with him. Knowing there was nothing she could do until the next morning, she nodded her head. "Is there a motel nearby that's not too expensive?" "Walk over to the bar across the street," Mike pointed out the window. "Ask for Brett. He's the guy that owns it. He sometimes rents rooms out for the night. Tell him I sent you and he'll give you a good price. He also makes a hell of a cheeseburger." "Thanks." Stepping out of the garage, she felt her pocket vibrate. Now what does he want? She asked herself. "What do you want, Jonathan?" She'd been with Jonathan Prince for 2 years. 2 wasted years that she'll never get back. "Don't you think you've had enough of this temper tantrum and come home?" "Temper tantrum? I didn't have a temper tantrum. I left you." For the millionth time in the last few months, she wondered what the hell she was thinking. When she'd met Jonathan Prince, she thought she'd met the person she was going to spend the rest of her life with. He was charming, attractive, and on his way to the top of Haggerty and Company, the company where they both worked. They dated 6 months before she eventually moved into his apartment. She was young, stupid, and in love with him. She eventually gave up her multicolored wardrobe in exchange for a more conservative look. Her purple hair was replaced by her natural brown color. Uh, Hell to the no. Her friends warned her that he was smothering her. Ignoring them, she told them that once they got to know Jonathan, they'd love him as much as she did. But they stopped coming around, and it wasn't until after she had left him that her friends told her about the messages that she'd supposedly sent. Messages that said she didn't want them to come and around anymore. When she denied them, they showed her the evidence. All is forgiven for you walking out on me. I'm even willing to discuss your visitation with your mother. Fuck you, she replied, getting a headache on top of everything else. Now, Lexi, you know how I feel about women swearing, Jonathan told her. Fuck you, Lexi repeated. Jonathan, we're through. I'm not going back to you ever. Now have a nice life. You'll come crawling back. You'll have no choice in the matter. Not in this lifetime. Are you sure about that? Have a nice trip in Vancouver, he said before hanging up. How did he know she was going to Vancouver? Lexi started to get the sick feeling that the trip to Vancouver was going to be a wasted one. If the job didn't happen, what was she going to do? She couldn't sleep on her mother's couch forever. Her nerves were so rattled that she didn't think she'd be able to eat without puking it back up. Looking at the bar that Mike the mechanic pointed out, she decided getting drunk might not be a bad way to spend the night. Maybe it will help give her temporary amnesia about the last couple of years of her life. Walking into the bar, she brushed against someone leaving. Sorry, she said to the person. I didn't mean to knock you down. Quite all right, he replied, his gravelly voice sending chills down her spine. Oh, quite all right, he replied, giving his gravelly voice sending chills down her spine. Get a grip, she told herself. You gave up men, remember? Looking at him, she had to curse her luck. Why was it when you decide to go on a diet, someone brings out a tray full of brownies? The guy was hot, his shirt covering what she suspected were rock hard abs. His hair trailed down his back, a short cropped beard that made Lexi wonder whether it tickled between her thighs while he ate her. God, love it. Stop that. Guys don't really do that. It was only made up in books. You okay? He asked, sounding concerned. I will be. Just need to get something to drink. Go see my friend Brett. He pointed at a guy behind the bar. Damn, not another tray of brownies. Lexi was starting to wonder if there was something in the water here where the residents were hot. Thanks. Walking up to the bar, she sat on the bar stool next to a cute brunette who was talking on the phone. Glancing her way, Lexi forgot to breathe. What was wrong with her? Her libido never acted this way. Maybe it was time to try women instead. What do you have? What do you have? Asked the guy behind the bar. Are you Brett? Yes, ma'am, he admitted. I was told to talk to you about a room for the night, said Lexi. My car broke down and is in the repair shop. Mike suggested that I talk to you. More than happy to help you, he agreed. We can work out the details later. Do you want something to drink? What do you have? Do you have something to give me amnesia to forget the last couple of years? Asked Lexi. Bad breakup? He asked sympathetically. You could say that, replied Lexi. Lucky us, said Brett. How long are you going to be in Seaside Cove? Hopefully until tomorrow. I need to be in Vancouver in a couple of days, she answered. Maybe you'll like it here so well that you might decide to make your stay a permanent one, he told her, setting a bottle of tequila, a shot glass, salt, and lime in front of her. This should help with the amnesia part. Thanks. Why are you going to Vancouver? He asked. I have a job interview, she answered. At least I hope so. Oh, good luck on that, Brett said. Job hunting sucks. Yes, it does, agreed Lexi. Excuse me, but I couldn't help but. Excuse me, but I couldn't help but overhear what you're saying to Brett, said the brunette next to her. Sorry, she apologized. Don't be. Sometimes it's easier to talk to a complete stranger, the woman assured her. By the way, I'm Maggie Woods. I love your hair, by the way. Lexi Kincaid, thanks. I just got it done not long ago. After ditching Jonathan, the first thing she did was go to the salon and go back to her favorite purple with pink highlights. Just going back to that color made her feel human again. Hallelujah. I have a suggestion if you want a place to stay for the night or however long you want to stay, said Maggie. I'd love one. Stay at my place, offered Maggie. I can't do that, protested Lexi. You don't know me. I could be a serial killer or something. I'm pretty sure you're not a serial killer, said Maggie. Why stay here above a bar versus staying in a nice room? I'm sure my husband will approve of my idea. I don't have much money to pay you, said Lexi. Money doesn't mean much here. Brett, oh, I needed to look to see who was talking. Money don't mean much here, Brett informed her. We take care of our own people here in Seaside Cove. He's right, confirmed Maggie. If you feel uncomfortable, you could always fuck me and we can call it even. You heard me, Maggie replied, scooting closer. Come home with me tonight. Let me fuck you, and you won't have to worry about your car. Won't your husband mind? Chance will more than likely join us, said Maggie. No doubt he will, agreed Brett. I'm sure he'll also take care of whatever you owe Mike. Let me get this straight. If I let you and your husband fuck me, you'll help me with getting my car fixed? She asked. What? Do I have to give him a blowjob for the shots? Looking back and forth at the bartender and Maggie, Lexi wondered why she wasn't getting off the bar stool and running to the door. I'll never say no to a blowjob, admitted the bartender. I'm Brett Collins. The shots were on the house, but if you're offering. Seaside Cove is a bit different than other communities, explained Maggie, touching Lexi's arm lightly with her fingers. There's a fund here at the bank that covers most residents' expenses, said Brett. As long as you're working in some capacity, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to have the basics in life. Maggie, are you picking up strangers again? Asked a deep voice. Not guilty, Maggie replied. Lexi, meet my husband Chance. I'm sure she was just flirting. Turning her head, it took everything in her not to melt on the spot. Oh, fuck. Um, Ladies, girls, you might want to get your hot flash kits out. I have a feeling this one, it's already heating up in here. I need to go throw the room and get my toy. Oh, fuck. I'm sure she was just flirting, Lexi said to him. No, I wasn't, denied Maggie. She definitely wasn't, replied Chance. She really does want to fuck you. Can't say I blame her. I'd love to fuck you until you can't walk without remembering what happened. Told you that he'd want to join us, Maggie reminded her. Brett might too. Abso-fucking-lutely, Brett agreed. Chance in your ass, me in your pussy or mouth, Maggie eating you or you eating her while she rides your face. What kind of town is this? She asked, her pulse racing at the words. We're a poly community, answered Maggie. A poly community? Where can I find one of these? People start sending me links now on these poly communities. I need to be there. A poly community. Lexi remembered a show on cable where people who were committed to each other but also in relationships with others. See that you've heard the term, observed Brett. Yeah, is everyone here poly? Most of the residents are, confirmed Chance. The others that aren't accept it. If they don't, they end up moving as quickly as they arrived. Looking at Maggie, Chance, and Brett, Lexi saw that they were telling the truth. Don't you get jealous? Nope. Brett shook his head. Well, I don't want to say never, but if it becomes a problem, we discuss it. This is incredible. Everything they described was something that Lexi had always wanted to explore. She had heard about it through the television shows, but a part of her thought it had to be fiction. Why not give it a test run, so to speak, while you're here? Suggested Maggie. What, like the three of you? Asked Lexi. I have a date tonight, Brett said regretfully. But if you're here for a while, I'd love to spend time with you. Come home with me and Chance, urged Maggie. I see the curiosity in your eyes, said Maggie. Tell me, have you ever wanted to be with other people even though you were in a committed relationship? Yeah, she admitted. Have you ever had sex with those of the same sex? Maggie asked Maggie again. Or more than one person at a time? Placing her hand on Lexi's thigh, the heat of her touch made Lexi wish she didn't have cotton separating them. No, but she wanted to. But you want to. I see it in your eyes that you do. The hand on her thigh was moving higher. If it went between her thighs, Maggie would no doubt feel the effect she had on Lexi. Her nipples started to chafe against the bra she wore. Just thinking of the three of them fucking had her wanting to strip right here and now. I couldn't picture it now, Chance said in her ear. The three of us tangled up in the sheets, me watching Maggie eat your cunt or you eating hers. Chance's cock slick with your juices while he fucks you, continued Maggie. It took everything in Lexi not to rub her thighs together. For one night? We can start with that, but we'll do everything in our power to get you to stay. Do you seduce visitors often? She asked them. Sometimes, but not always. Some stay, some come back occasionally, others run as fast as their legs can carry them. Come home with us, Chance whispered in her ear. We'll fuck you in ways you didn't even know were possible. Say yes, said Maggie, scooting her stool even closer to her, her breath blowing against Lexi's face. I want to kiss you all over. Chance licked the outer shell of her ear. Come home with us, sucking her earlobe between his lips. You're not playing fair. The protest seemed weak, even to her own ears. Her body melting against his, her nerve endings coming alive. Chance's hand slid down her front, lifting Lexi's shirt up her stomach. Maggie's hand sliding higher up Lexi's thighs, kissing Lexi's stomach, licking a path up to the cotton of her bra. We want you. Say yes, ordered Chance, his hands unbuttoning her jeans, sliding inside the waistband of her panties. Your pussy is wet. I bet if I push my finger inside, it'll soak it. Say yes. Oh, fuck, whimpered Lexi when Chance pressed his hand against her clit, filling her pussy with more juices. What if I say no? Whether you agree to be in our bed or not has nothing to do with our offer for you to stay at our house or help us with the or us helping with the repairs needed for your car, answered Chance. Okay, this is crazy. Why am I agreeing to this Framing Lexi's face, Maggie brushed her lips against Lexi's, stared into her eyes briefly. Forget that we're here in Smuggler's Cove, that you're surrounded by people. Forget everything but Chance and I touching you. Just concentrate on our voices and our touch. Chance said to her. People are watching, she moaned when Chance dipped a finger inside. Let them. People like to watch, Maggie told her in her ear. Men, women, we all like to watch. Why do you think adult websites are so popular? You're so fucking hot, Chance said in her ear. I don't think one night will be enough. His hand started to move up and down against her, pressing hard against her clit. Maggie's mouth covered hers, kissing her in a deep, erotic kiss that had Lexi curling her toes in her shoes. Opening her mouth to hers, Lexi's tongue started curling around Maggie's. She's loving it, Chance said to Maggie. She's soaking my finger. Taking a finger out, he held it out for Maggie's lips. Lexi knew she was a goner the minute she saw Maggie sucking Chance's finger clean of her juices. Her hair was tugged, tilting her head back. Chance kissed her, opening her mouth, his tongue deep inside her mouth. Your body's responding to ours. Your mind is the last barrier, Chance whispered in her ear. We'll take care of you. Let go. I knew she'd be perfect, Maggie replied, kissing Lexi once more. Lexi started to moan against her lips, gasping when Chance pushed the cotton panel inside her pussy. Tilting her head against Chance's shoulder, Maggie kissed her throat. Moving lower, she pushed aside the top of her t-shirt, baring her breast, brushing her tongue against Lexi's nipple. Oh, fuck, cried out Lexi, her body shaking from the orgasm. Maggie crushed her mouth once more on Lexi's, her body so close that air wouldn't be able to pass through them. When she started sucking Lexi's tongue, Lexi started to respond. Placing her hands on Maggie's shoulders, she moaned when Chance nibbled the back of her neck, rocking her bottom against the chair, pressing her cunt against Chance's hand, her body shivering as she started to come once more. Maggie whispered in her ear, Let's go home. Chapter 2. Walking with Maggie and Chance to their car, Lexi couldn't believe that she let them seduce her in the bar. Are you guys seeing me okay? I can't ever decide. She felt eyes staring at her when she walked out of the bar. Maggie and Chance each had an arm around her waist. The cool air did nothing to lessen the heat that was still radiating through her. She still couldn't believe how easily they had seduced her in the bar. When are you supposed to be in Vancouver? 2 days. I have a job interview, or supposed to have one, Lexi, remembering what Jonathan has said. What do you do? Asked Chance. I work in public relations geared mostly to social media, answered Lexi. More and more companies are hiring people to help with their online presence. Why don't you work for me instead? Asked Chance, opening the door of his SUV, lifting her inside. I've been looking for someone that can handle all the social media for my company. Really? Absolutely, answered Chance. Frankly, I hate all that social media shit, but in order to attract business, it's become a requirement to maintain an online presence. You'd be doing me a favor by handling that for me. What if things don't work out between us? Questioned Lexi. You working for me has no bearing on what does or doesn't happen between the three of us tonight, said Chance. Can I think about it? Although she was sorely tempted to accept the job offer, seeing the disappointed look in Chance's eyes made Lexi want to say yes immediately. But she didn't want to decide on something tonight, on something she may regret in the morning. Bringing his head down towards hers, he kissed her, his tongue brushing against hers, sending shivers through her. If I don't get you home now, we'll be fucking in the parking lot. Let's get you home. His tongue deep and demanding, creating an ache for something she'd never voiced. You mentioned that you just broke up with someone. What happened, if you don't mind me asking? Asked Maggie as Chance started to drive. I heard you mention something to Brett.
What did he do to get you to leave him?
Questioned Chance. What makes you think I left him? She asked.
Sweetheart, no one in their right mind would willingly let you go,
Replied Chance. Thanks. His compliment made her smile. 3 months ago, my then fiance came to my office saying that he had a surprise for me.
What happened?
Asked Chance. He took me to this really nice neighborhood, replied Lexi. He announced that he'd bought us a house. Without consulting you? Maggie said. Something like that should be decided by both parties. Was there something wrong with the house? No, not at all, answered Lexi. It was the typical suburban neighborhood. All the houses looked the same, perfect lawns, kids playing in the street. But it was the creepiest neighborhood I'd ever seen in my life.
What was wrong with it?
Asked Chance. The men were dressed normally, so were the little boys that I saw playing outside. But the women, they were dressed as if they were in the 40s or 50s. I half expected June Cleaver calling for Beaver. I remember a movie like that once, commented Maggie. It was the scariest movie I'd ever seen. Exactly, confirmed Lexi. As I remember, the movie didn't end well for the women, remembered Maggie. Nope, agreed Lexi. When he took me inside the house he had bought for us, it had shiny wood floors, the kitchen had shiny new appliances, and the furniture was the kind that I couldn't imagine laying on and watching a movie or curled up in the corner reading. But when he took me to the bedroom, that's when I lost my temper. The closets and one of the dressers were filled with the exact same type of clothing as the other women. What the fuck? Whispered Maggie. That's what I said after I'd asked him if he was fucking serious, admitted Lexi. He then told me that he was completely serious and that I was to hand over my birth control pills and voter's registration. He told me that I would be allowed to go to the grocery store, post office, and the schools once we had children.
I have to say I'm impressed, said Chance.
Impressed? How? Asked Lexi.
Impressed that you didn't kill him,
answered Chance. Believe me, I was tempted, she admitted. I told him no way in hell I was going to live like that. He told me that I didn't have a choice. If that didn't convince me to end things with him, his next words were the final nail in our relationship coffin.
What were they?
Asked Chance. He said my mother wouldn't be allowed in our house, replied Lexi. Said that I would be allowed to visit her at her home for an hour a week.
Why doesn't he like you?
Why doesn't he like your mother? Asked Maggie. She's Wanda Kincaid. Wait, Wanda Kincaid is your mother? Gasped Maggie. Oh my God, I love her. He said that she wasn't the right type to be associated with.
Bullshit, replied Chance. I love the fact that she isn't politically correct. She says what's on her mind.
I agree with you, Lexi told him, but that's not the reason why he doesn't want her around. Something he's afraid would jeopardize his care if they ever found out. Oh, his career. Sorry. I was looking at the E. It was split in the middle of the E's and it kind of threw me. Something he's afraid would jeopardize his career if they ever found out. Did she rob banks or something? Asked Maggie. When she was born, her parents named her Paul. What's the big deal? Questioned Maggie. Maybe your grandparents were expecting a boy and were at a loss for names. That wasn't the reason, replied Lexi. She wasn't born physically a girl.
Wait, you're transgendered?
Asked Chance. She prefers woman.
Oh, wait, she's transgendered?
Asked Chance. She prefers woman, said Lexi. She's completed the surgery before I was born.
Did your father know?
Questioned Chance. Yes, admitted Lexi. He was her best friend growing up and stood with her when she had the surgeries. Oh, wow, said Maggie. To answer the unasked question, yes, I'm adopted, confirmed Lexi. My parents adopted me in Europe because laws were here wouldn't allow them to do it.
Your mom doesn't talk about your father much,
Commented Chance. He died when I was 5, explained Lexi. He was run over by a car while standing at the bus stop going to work. At first, they thought it was a drunk driver, but it came out that my dad was trying to kill his wife. Oh, but it came out that the man was trying to kill his wife who was standing next to my dad. Oh, wow, replied Maggie. I'm sorry. My mom never found anyone else, said Lexi. After he gave me that ultimatum, I told him that he could kiss my ass and take me home.
Good for you,
Approved Chance. Ever since then, my life has been on a downward spiral, Lexi told them. He made me find my way back to town. Then he informed me that I wasn't going to be allowed back in our apartment. I called Lyft and went to my mom's.
bastard,
Replied Chance. When I got to work the next Monday, I was summoned into my boss's office where I was told that I was being laid off, continued Lexi. The official reason was that we were cutting back, but the real reason was that Jonathan had them fire me. He was made he has it made he has made it his mission. Oh, gosh, sorry y'all. He has made it his personal mission to make sure that I don't get hired anywhere. He thought if I couldn't find a job that I'd go back to him.
Where did you work before?
He asked. Haggerty and Sons, she answered.
Who was your fiance?
Chance's voice having a definite chill in his voice. Jonathan Price, or Jonathan Prince?
You were engaged to Prince?
Asked Chance. You know him? Oh shit, thought Lexi. There goes the job.
Yeah, yes, he's a first class prick,
answered Chance. That describes him perfectly, agreed Lexi. What if he tries to get you to change your mind about hiring me?
Let him try,
replied Chance, his voice so chilling that it made Lexi almost wish that they'd be stupid enough to try. I think we should get in the house, said Maggie, opening the car door. House? It took Lexi a second to realize that they'd parked in front of a house. We're home, replied Maggie.
I'll open your door,
Chance told her, getting out and opening it before she could object. Helping her out of the tall vehicle, he drew her closer.
It's been too long.
What's been too long? She asked.
This.
Bending his head, he kissed her. Lexi couldn't stop herself from responding, her arms going up his shoulders, her tongue brushing against his.
Your lips should come with a warning label.
His lips going moving down her throat. What was wrong with her? Where was her survival instinct? Why was she blindly following them into the house? Walking inside their house, Lexi fell in love with it, unlike the house Jonathan had bought. This place made her feel like she was home. Seeing the big picture windows, she couldn't resist looking outside. This is beautiful, she complimented two people walking along the shore, glanced towards Chance and Maggie's house. You've got a beautiful house, she complimented them, immediately drawn to the picture window. She'd always loved picture windows. Looking out of there, she saw the moon shining over the water. In the distance, Lexi saw two people walking down the shoreline. Staring at the window, she watched Maggie walk up behind her, watched her wrap her arms around Lexi's waist, drawing her close. I love your hair, Maggie told her, wrapping her arms around her waist, kissing the top of her shoulder. The minute I saw you walk in the bar, I kept picturing your hair fanned across our pillows. Pushing Lexi's hair away from her neck, Maggie kissed the back of her neck. I can't wait to taste your sweet pussy lips. I love to eat pussy. Chance does too.
What does Chance like to do?
He asked, walking up to them. Eat pussy.
Very much so,
he agreed. I haven't ever, Lexi started to say.
Wait, No one has ever eaten your asked Chance. No one has ever eaten you before? Or is it that you don't like it?
I'd have to experience it in order for me to know whether or not I like it or not. Answered Lexi. I'm not a virgin, just not that experienced. Yay, us, said Maggie. Let me guess. Your ex only did missionary? Yeah, admitted Lexi, her body turning red.
It'll be our pleasure to corrupt you,
Chance told her. I can't wait any longer. Maggie stepped closer. I want you. I want you too, she admitted. Good, Maggie said before kissing her, her hands going down Lexi's hips, pressing her even closer. Oh, fuck, she whimpered, trembling under her touch, shivering when Maggie's lips trailed down her throat before kissing her again. Feels good, doesn't it? Asked Maggie. Uh-huh, wishing she could say something coherent. Sliding her hand under Lexi's shirt, she pulled it over her head, her hands quickly removing Lexi's bra, sucking a tip inside her mouth. Oh, shit, she whimpered. Oh, yum, corrected Maggie. Lexi tilted her head back, moving her breast deeper inside Maggie's mouth, stealing when Chance's mouth covered her other one, their hands sliding down her stomach, inside the jeans she wore, her knees buckling when a finger brushed her clit. Hold on, Chance said in her ear. Kneeling before her, he pulled her jeans and panties down her legs, kissing her inner thighs. Lift your foot. Doing as she was told, her jeans joining the rest of her clothes in front of the window. In the distance, she saw the two people she saw earlier looking in their direction. There's people watching, making her freeze. That's Desiree and Joshua Sparks, said Maggie. They live next door. They like to watch. I know they'll want to fuck you too. Pushing a finger inside her cunt. Don't take your eyes off them, ordered Chance, sliding his finger in and out of her cunt. When he stepped away from her, Lexi turned her head. Didn't I tell you to keep your eyes on Desiree and Josh? Do it. When Maggie's full breast pressed against her back, Lexi couldn't hold back a moan. Don't turn away from them, Maggie instructed. If you choose to stay, this will be your new normal. People here make it no secret that they like to watch as much as they like to fuck. Have you ever been fucked in the ass? Asked Chance. No, Lexi felt as if she were falling under their spell. Lucky me, said Chance, kneeling behind her. He spread her butt cheeks, licking back and forth between her two openings. Kneeling in front of her, Maggie held her thighs, sucking and pulling on Lexi's clit. Oh, fuck, cried out Lexi. If it wasn't for Maggie holding her, she'd sink to the floor. Placing her head against the window, the coolness from glass soothing against her heated flesh, Chance and Maggie were making her realize everything that she'd been missing with the others she'd had sex with before. Kissing his way up her spine, Chance kissed the side of her neck. Hold tight, sweetheart, he said in her ear, licking the outer shell, pushing his cock inside her pussy. Oh, fuck, whispered Lexi. Doesn't his cock feel good inside you? Asked Maggie before licking and suckling Lexi's clit once more. Yes, hissed Lexi. Your tongue against my clit feels incredible. Her inner muscles gripping him. Don't stop. Standing up, Maggie kissed her, her tongue brushing and curling around Lexi's. You're so fucking hot. Bending her head, she started sucking Lexi's breast. Oh, damn, whispered Lexi. It was becoming harder to maintain control. She was heading towards something she'd only ever experienced at her own hand. Let go, urged Chance. We've got you. Lexi's mind shut down. Her body took over. She felt herself shuddering against them, thankful that they were holding her up. She lifted her eyes. For a brief moment, her eyes connected with the woman that Maggie said was named Desiree. Pulling out of her, Chance turned her around, lifting her by the waist before lowering her on his cock once more. His mouth ravenous on her, sucking her tongue inside his mouth. She moaned against his lips when a wet finger was pushed into her rear, her hands gripping his shoulders as sensations poured through her hips moving up and down of their own accord, her fingers digging into his hard shoulders, her scream muffled against him as she started to come. Resting her head on his shoulder, she closed her eyes, trying to get her breathing under control. Distantly, she heard him shout before filling her with his cum. What are you doing to me? Lexi whispered, not wanting his cock to leave. When Chance lowered her back down on the floor, she saw that Desiree and Josh were still watching, no longer caring that they watched.
Convincing you to stay,
answered Chance, bringing her head towards his. He toward his. He kissed her.
I might just have to chain you to the bed.
Lowering her back to the floor, Maggie kissed the top of Lexi's cunt before licking the cum out of her. You taste so good, Maggie told her before kissing her. Lexi's arms going around Maggie, kissing her back. So do you. Lexi started to kiss Maggie's throat, down her collarbone. Maggie rolling Maggie on her back, Lexi started kissing her way down Maggie's body, sucking for the first time another woman's breast, her tongue brushing against Maggie's nipple. The more Maggie moaned, the more Lexi wanted to see how loud she could get. Going to the other, Lexi started to move her hand down between Maggie's thighs. Moving lower still, she kissed the top of Maggie's cunt. You don't have to, Maggie told her. I want to, answered Lexi. Maggie sent, drawing her closer, brushing her tongue against Maggie's slick lower lips, sucking one, then the other. The taste of Maggie's juices intoxicating, making her want more. Her own juices trailing out of her cunt. She could have sworn she heard Maggie purr. Oh shit, you're a fast learner, Maggie moaned, draping her leg down Lexi's back. I have a good teacher, replied Lexi, burying her tongue inside of Maggie's cunt, lifting her head. She licked her lips.
Come on, sweetheart, let's go get comfortable, said Chance.
I am comfortable, she replied. Lifting Lexi, he placed her on the couch, then lifted Maggie, setting her next to Lexi. Maggie immediately started kissing Lexi, her tongue curling around Lexi's. She started to moan when Chance's fingers went inside her, brushing her clit with his tongue. Oh, fuck, she cried out, his tongue burying into her pussy, brushing against her inner walls, her fingers digging into his soft hair, afraid that if she let go, she might just float off the couch. Fuck me, she pleaded.
Abso-fucking-lutely,
he agreed, sitting next to Lexi, his mouth covered hers in a deep kiss. Turning towards him, Chance lifted her, lowering her once more on his cock, stretching her once more. Each vein seemed to imprint itself against her pussy walls. Yes, yes, fuck me, she cried out.
I think watching him
I think watching him fuck you might be my new favorite thing to watch. The look in your eye when he pushes in and out of your cunt, your eyes clouding over with pleasure, Maggie said to her. Fuck, screamed Lexi, his hands moving her hips up and down his hard shaft. The sound of her rear slapping against his thighs vibrated through the room. She could do nothing but hold on. His cock twitched inside, filling her cunt with his seed one more time. Lexi was exhausted but didn't want the sex to stop. Her head rested on his chest, his hands moving up and down her back, almost soothing.
You're everything we hoped for when we saw you in the bar. Chance kissed the top of her head. I have a small confession, Maggie said to her. What's that? She was too lethargic to move. The person I was talking to on the phone, it was Chance. Lexi remembered when Chance's phone rang. You saw me bump into him? Yes. Chance's exact words when you walked towards the bar was that he wanted you in our bed tonight, admitted Maggie. Really? I'd say guilty, but I'd be lying. He confirmed what Maggie has said. I don't feel like an ounce of guilt. I don't feel an ounce of guilt. Let's go to bed. Lifting her off of him, he helped her walk to the bedroom, placing her in the middle of the large bed. Maggie immediately joined her and started to kiss her, her mouth opening under Maggie's. I could kiss you all night, Maggie told her. No one is stopping you. Lexi brought her face back down to hers. Damn straight, agreed Maggie. Tangling her hands in Maggie's short brown curls, Lexi started to kiss her once more. The bed shifted. Strong hands lifted her hips. I know it's a little late to ask, but are you on birth control? Chance asked her. I'm clean, so is Maggie. This type of lifestyle we get checked regularly. Yes, nodded Lexi. She learned at an early age from her mother to make sure she was protecting herself. Her mother warning her that not everyone would have her best interest in mind. Wanda said that until she was ready to be responsible for bringing another human being into the world, make sure that she did everything to prevent it. The advice she gave rang in Lexi's mind when she found condoms with holes poked in them one night on the nightstand by their bed. When she asked Jonathan about them, he claimed that they must have been defective. Good, Chance said before pushing his cock inside her, making her forget Jonathan. Oh, fuck! Cried out Lexi. The sound of skin slapping against skin made her even wetter, her legs winding around his waist, driving him deeper. She didn't want him to stop fucking her. Fucking her harder, had Lexi's body twisting on the mattress, her body covered with sweat. She started to meet him thrust for thrust. Maggie's fingers slid between their bodies, rubbing circles against Lexi's clit, her lips sucking and pulling on Lexi's breasts, brushing her tongue against the sensitive nipples. Lexi heard pleading, begging to come, not realizing it came from her that his cock felt so good inside her. When Chance pulled out of her, Maggie silenced her protest with a deep kiss. We're not even close to being finished with you. Pulling out of Lexi, he turned her on her side, draping her leg over Maxie's hip. Leaning forward, Lexi kissed Maggie. I want to watch him fuck you, Lexi said to Maggie. Staring into Staring into Maggie's eyes, she knew the moment that Chance pushed inside of his wife's cunt, it was Lexi's turn to rub Maggie's clit while Chance fucked her. Kissing Maggie's neck, Lexi kissed her way down to Maggie's breast, brushing the tip of her tongue before sucking it. Lexi heard a drawer open, then the unmistakable sound of a vibrator. Placing it against Lexi's clit, he draped Maggie's leg over Lexi's hip, bringing their pussies together. When Chance started to move once more, the vibrator moving between her and Maggie's bodies. Closing the short distance between them, Lexi couldn't stop kissing Maggie, wondering how she ever lived without having sex with another female. Moving her tongue inside of Maggie's mouth, she drew Maggie's tongue inside her own mouth, sucking it. The bed started to shake harder. Maggie's moans vibrated against Lexi's mouth. Her clit started to push up and down against Maggie's. Come with us, urged Maggie. Doing as instructed brought them even closer. Moving together, electric shocks ran through her every time the vibrator moved against her. Holy shit, she whispered, shivers still running through her. Welcome to Seduction Cove, they said to her before kissing her. Waking up the next morning, it took Leslie a second to remember where she was, but her body reminded her when she stretched on the bed. Turning her head, she saw Maggie staring at her. Morning. I was wondering when you'd wake up, she said before kissing Lexi. Morning, replied Lexi, kissing her back. She'd lost count on how many times they'd fucked her during the night. Where's Chance? Chance is downstairs. He had an early call. Maggie told her, dipping two fingers inside Lexi's cunt. Did we manage to convince you to stay? Oh, that feels so good. Lexi moaned, her mind and body floating, her inner muscles clenching around the fingers inside her. I'm considering it, not admitting that she didn't want to go. Sometime during the long night, Lexi started to feel like she was home, but it was too soon to say the words out loud. Sliding her fingers out, Maggie sucked them clean. Tasty. Moving back up Lexi's body, she started to grind her pussy against Lexi's. Don't stop. Lexi found herself pleading. Her fingers felt too damn good to even want to end. I have always wanted a sexual playmate in my bed, said Maggie against her lips, her tongue going deep. Lexi's arms went around Maggie, kissing her back. If Maggie wanted her to be her sexual playmate, Lexi was all for it. Kissing Lexi's throat, Maggie sucked Lexi's earlobe. I love your body. I love yours too, giving in to the pleasure that ran through her once more. She had never had so much sex in her life. Maggie? Yeah, answered Maggie, kissing Lexi's nipple. What's Seduction Cove? It's the nickname for Seaside Cove, replied Maggie. Seaside Cove has a rather colorful history. During the Prohibition era, Chance's great grandfather ran a speakeasy which was located underneath the homes here. It was in someone's basement, asked Lexi. No, it's sort of hard to describe unless we show you, which, if you want, we can do later, answered Maggie. There are a series of tunnels that run underneath the homes here. There's a center point, and the center is where the speakeasy was located. Chance would have the booze smuggled in from Canada. That's amazing, said Lexi. There was also stories that more than alcohol consumption happened there, said Maggie. From what Chance has told me, there were rooms for orgies there too. Is that how Seaside Cove earned its nickname? Asked Lexi. Yep, confirmed Maggie. His great grandfather met his great grandmother Julia when she was sent by the cops to spy on them. She had a checkered history too. She and her father would run scams throughout the West, and when she was caught, she had the choice of jail or spying on Chance. The cops heard that there was going to be an attack on them, sort of like that what happened in Chicago, and they wanted to stop it before it happened. This is so cool, admitted Lexi. I can safely assume that Chance inherited some of his great grandfather's traits, asked Lexi. Uh-huh, answered Maggie. That is so cool. Lexi had always been fascinated by history. She loved to read of bygone eras. She loved seeing the clothes that people wore, the way they traveled in times of old. Some people don't think so, smiled Maggie. His great grandfather was considered a real badass. His great grandfather was considered a real badass when women and men were drawn to him. He was the one that discovered that there were tunnels that ran underneath our houses. He used them to transport the booze. Wow, replied Lexi. Did his grandfather ever get caught? He did, but because he cooperated with the police and helped them thwart the attack, they gave him probation. He and Julia got married, but from what I learned, they were in a triad relationship, but no one will admit it. Really? Yeah, according to what Chance and I found out, Julia was married to Chance's grandfather, but they were also with another game that was never mentioned, said Maggie. That's crazy. It sounds like a plot of a movie, said Lexi. Yeah, especially since they really did live a long, happy life. According to what Chance had learned, they lived as if as if each day was going to be their last. I've seen pictures of them. Chance looks just like his great grandfather. I'd love to see a picture, she told him. I'll find one for you, promised Maggie. His grandparents and parents, though, were the complete opposite. According to him and what we learned through some journals, that when Chance's grandfather was born, he distanced himself from his parents. When he got married, he didn't even invite them to the wedding. When his great grandparents died, they left Chance this house. That is so freaking cool, she said to Maggie. Want a shower? I'd love one, admitted Nick. But my clothes are still in my car. I don't have anything to wear. I need to somehow go to the repair shop and at least get my suitcase. Chance can contact Mike at the garage and ask him to bring them over, said Maggie. Does that mean you still want me to stay? Truth was, during the long night, Lexi knew that this was where she wanted to stay. Do you honestly think that after last night that we'll ever let you go? Maggie asked. What are you going to do? Tie me up? She asked, wishing they'd do just that. If necessary, Maggie kissed her before turning on the shower. Stepping into the shower, Maggie pressed her against the wall and kissed her. Pushing 2 fingers inside of Lexi, she fucked her. Wrap your hands around the hook above your head, foot on the soap dish. Looking up, Lexi saw it, grabbing it as instructed, putting her foot on the soap dish, crying out when Lexi started fucking her harder. The angle of her leg giving Maggie easy access to her cunt. Fuck me harder, she cried out. Definitely, agreed Maggie, sucking Lexi's breast, fucking Lexi's cunt with her fingers, sliding them out. Lexi watched Maggie lick the juices off her fingers. Lexi's moans grew louder. Her fingers clenched around the piece of plastic. Put them back, she begged Maggie. Oh, fuck. Lexi screamed when Maggie pushed them back inside, fucking her even harder. You're so much fun to play with, Maggie said, fucking Lexi, curling her fingers up. She brushed that tiny bundle of nerves near Lexi's entrance. Once her breathing returned to normal, Maggie started over again, sucking and pulling on Lexi's breast, her juices overflowing her cunt, her body submitting to the demands of the woman, claiming it over and over again. Stumbling out of the shower, Lexi stared into the mirror of the medicine cabinet. I've got a hickey, she said to Maggie, her hand covering the mark. Not just on your neck either, Maggie pointed at Lexi's breath. Let's get some breakfast. I'm sure Chance is off the phone by now. I don't have anything to wear, Lexi reminded her. You can borrow a t-shirt and panties. I think your bra's still by the window. Just remembering what happened the night before, Lexi felt a blush creeping up from her toes. Thank you. It's the least I can do, Maggie replied, kissing Lexi's shoulder. Walking out of the bathroom, she went to the dresser drawer, taking out a pair of panties. These are new. I haven't worn them yet. Thanks. Just putting them on gave Lexi a semblance of normalcy. As much as I want to stay in bed all day, I have to go to work, and Chance will probably want to go over what he wants you to do for him. He really does need an assistant. His last one moved to Los Angeles to audition for a singing competition. Did she make it? Asked Lexi. I haven't heard, but don't have a doubt that she will, said Maggie. She's a good singer, and this was a great opportunity. Chance has been so busy since she left that he hasn't had time to find a replacement. Lucky me, replied Lexi. What if he wants me while you're at work? Then let him have you. Shrugged Maggie. You want mine? Not at all, Maggie admitted. As we told you last night, Seaside Cove is a poly community. Poly, meaning like swapping, she asked. No. Poly, meaning like swapping, she asked. No, Maggie replied, shaking her head. Polyamory and swapping are different. Polys have intimate relationships with more than one person. Swapping is when people exchange their lovers with another couple. Even with swapping, there are 2 different kinds, hard and soft. The couples discuss beforehand what they can do with another couple. Sort of like what I saw on that one show where a couple tested to see if it is meant for them. Yeah, confirmed Maggie. Here, though, the guys are just as likely to have sex with each other. Nothing is hotter than watching two guys together. We've been trying to think of ways to bring new people into the mix. We have some people that live here on a part time basis. They often work in professions that, if it were known they were into that, it could hurt them. That's sad, replied Lexi, but understandable. I'm hoping that you decide to stay, admitted Maggie, whether here with us or if you get your own place. I'm thinking about it, said Lexi. A guaranteed job offer is hard to pass up. Would it be okay to call my mom? Of course, answered Maggie. Unlike your stupid ex, we're not going to prevent you from having contact with your mother. Thank you. A part of her knew that Chance and Maggie were nothing like Jonathan. It was hard to keep the doubts out of her head. I know that we just met, but I've never felt such an instant attraction to another person other than Chance, said Maggie. Just give yourself time to consider your options. Following Maggie into the kitchen, Lexi's pulse rate started to race when she saw Chance sitting at the table typing something into his computer. Morning. The instant attraction she felt scared Lexi. While a part of her knew that Maggie and Chance were nothing like Jonathan, the other part was scared to trust her instincts. Oh, I'm getting purloined. Right now, I'm reading a motorcycle series about gay motorcycle series. There we go. That's how about gay partners. Uh, the instant attraction she felt scared Lexi. While a part of her knew that Maggie and Chance were nothing like Jonathan, the other part was scared to trust her instincts. You can do better than that, replied Chance. Come here. Going to his chair, he pulled her onto his lap and kissed her, his hands sliding under her shirt, cupping her breast. Lexi pressed herself closer, shivering as his touch went further south. Much better than coffee, he said. I wish we could fuck all day, but I have things I need to do, sighed Chance. I wish I could stay home, sighed Maggie. Where do you work? Starting to get up, Chance held her in place. Stay, he said in her ear. I like you being on my lap. I can tell, replied Lexi, feeling his cock pressing against her butt. I own a travel agency. I have a couple of people coming to pick up their tickets for a cruise, answered Maggie. Have you ever considered using your travel agency to attract the people you want here? Lexi questioned her, remembering their earlier conversation. No, admitted Maggie. That's a good idea, though. We can talk about it more when I get home. See, this is why you need to stay here. Starting to stand up once more, Lexi looked at him when he pulled her back onto his lap. Hey, I need to call my mom. In a minute, promised Chance. Threading his fingers in her hair, he kissed her deeply. I want you. As impossible as it seemed for Lexi, she wanted him again. Lord, I'll be done here in a minute, y'all. Maybe sometime tonight. This keeps you pulling you in, doesn't it? As impossible as it seemed for Lexi, she wanted him to go again, too. Melting into his kiss, she couldn't stop the moan when he cupped her breast under her shirt. I want you to. All right, almost done. Bottom of this page, and I'm done. Lifting her up, pushing her panties aside, pushing his cock inside her cunt. I need to be inside you, Chance replied. I need you there, she gasped when she felt his cock filling her. Oh, fuck, that feels good. Something had changed inside her during the night. It seemed like the part of her that she had always kept hidden was no longer silent. She stared into Maggie's eyes while watching her husband push his cock inside of Lexi. Lexi saw that she was just as turned on by the way she was breathing. Oh, fuck. Breathing slowly as he filled her, Chance's hand sliding under her shirt, squeezing her breast, pinching her nipples into hard nubs. On her own, she started moving up and down his shaft. Stealing his movement, he scooted back the chair. Come and join us, Chance urged Maggie. Kneeling on the floor, Maggie lifted Lexi's shirt and started to suck her breast, her fingers sliding to Maggie's clit, rubbing small circles. Lexi couldn't stop from moaning, her head tilted back against Chance's shoulder, his tongue licking the side of her neck before sucking the tender skin there. Lexi was starting to breathe heavier, lifting her off his cock. Maggie quickly removed Lexi's panties, kissing her inner thighs before licking and sucking Lexi's clit. Holding Chance's cock so he could push it back inside of Lexi, bringing Lexi's head towards hers. Maggie started to kiss her, her fingers going back to Lexi's clit. Lexi was falling more into their spell. They seemed to be casting around her, her hips moving faster, her pussy muscles clenching the cock inside her, feeling it swell even more. She started screaming once more, juices flowing over Chance's heart shaft, his cum mixing with hers. And that's the end of chapter 3. Alrighty, you guys like that? Ah! Oh. Oh, cool. Alrighty, so this book is $2.99 on Amazon. I'm not sure where else you can get it, but I know you can get it on Amazon. So, all right, ladies, it's late. Woo-hoo. So tomorrow night we have Daniel Grayson's something about love letter or something. I don't remember exactly. Nina, I have tea. You're just gonna have to go get the book, Nina. You ain't no. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Izzy. Get with Nina, and we need another book soon. So, but I'll be more prepared next time because I'm gonna need some toys, and I'm gonna need my hot flash kit, my water bottle. I'm gonna need some vodka in this. Did I even stop and drink? Because you girls know I have to drink a lot when I'm reading. I don't even remember stopping and drinking anything. Alrighty, it's time to go. Some of us can get up and go to work in the morning. Thank you so much. Alrighty, ladies. Have a good evening and happy reading.